What's up, y'all? It's your man, Governor Wildstar. What's up? What's up? And welcome to the Black Side of Liberty. It's me, Governor Wildstar. Appreciate you all for tuning in to this very special episode. All my freedom fighters out there and beings of light, art, culture, and knowledge. Welcome to the neighborhood. Please be sure to drop some comments during this simulcast, wherever you are, Facebook, YouTube. Please be sure to jump in, and we're going to have a wonderful conversation. I was hoping to have on my guest, Serene Adelanu, who is actually a Libertarian president candidate for president of the United States, but unfortunately, she's feeling under the weather, and she cannot be here with me today. So I'm just going to be running down a few headlines in the news, and thankfully, I was able to get my main man, Mr. Stevante Clark, to jump in on the conversation with me. What's up with you, Mr. Clark?
How you doing, brother? How you doing?
Hey, excellent, bro. Thank you for jumping in for the conversation with me, man. I am going to have Stevante on next week, Tuesday, so you guys be sure to jump in that conversation. But in the meantime, I got you here to talk about a few headlines that's going on in the news here today. I will prepare a proper, interview for you next week when we talk. But for now, let's just talk about a few things that's going on in the world here today.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
I appreciate it. Thank you. And all of you guys out there, like I said, if you want to jump in the conversation, just be sure to drop a comment during the show. We'd appreciate it. A question, etc. And let's chop it up. One of the first things I want to talk about with you, Stevante, man, is I don't know if you heard, but the Democrats and the Republicans have just extended the FISA program. It's the let's see what it's called. It's let's break it down. The Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, which is basically authorizing the government to use warrantless surveillance
of our web history.
All your history, you know what I'm saying?
So if I've been watching porn all week, the FBI could find out and let my wife know and the kids know and everybody else.
Oh yeah, they know definitely now. Everybody know. The government know. All the hackers know.
That's crazy. I seen that. To make our web history public. Mm-hmm. I think that is against our constitutional rights when it comes Absolutely. To our protections, our rights, and our causes. When I heard this, I thought it was a joke.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a joke that in the year 2020, we're still having the conversation on our privacy being respected. We've already agreed to their terms and conditions. Now they don't have to have a warrant at all to spy on us. I think that's unconscionable. I think that's inappropriate and uncalled for, really. And because you know what? But because we don't stand up as one and fight
mm-hmm.
these systems that oppress us when it comes to spying on our asses.
Yeah.
Because we don't fight as one, as solidarity as one, then they're going to keep doing it. Like I've said numerous times before, until we organize and unite as one in solidarity, they're going to keep using us. They're going to keep abusing our constitutional rights.
Absolutely. And you're right about uniting, because the Republicans and the Democrats have united on passing this bill. I mean, there was over 77 votes that voted in the yes, and that was from both sides. So any of you Republicans out there that want to bash on Obama, talking about Obama was spying on Trump, yeah, well, Trump right now is doing it to you. And the Republicans are okay with that. And so are the Democrats. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
they are.
If it doesn't affect their pockets, then they're okay with it.
Right.
They're fine with it. The minute that these decisions start affecting their pocketbook, that's when they wake up.
Of course.
They will not wake up until it affects their pocketbooks. You know, they probably sold our web history out to these tech companies.
Oh yeah, of course. That's why when you get on Amazon,
the backdoor deal with Apple, Google, Amazon, Tesla, all these other crooked corporations.
I don't know about Tesla, but the rest of them, yeah.
No, Tesla too.
But yeah, man, all of them, and that's why when you get on Amazon, when you get on Yahoo, they're already suggesting all sorts of items and products to you. Is because they're already going through your web history. They know what you're looking up online, you know. And you're right, it is 2020, and this is still happening. And this happened way back in the day with Richard Nixon, with the whole Watergate scandal. But yet we're having it happen right now, and we're completely aware of it, and we're completely condoning it. So
yeah, because when Tricky Dick did it, you know, Tricky Dick was out there bridging the gap with China.
Yeah.
Tricky Dick was out there literally trying to make America great. You know, he just was trying to spy on the Democratic side and be nosy, and look where I got him.
Yeah, we actually have that spying happening right now with this whole Obamagate scandal also, where they're coming to find out that people of the Obama administration were actually spying on presidential candidates, such as Joe Biden was doing it. So yeah, Senator Rand Paul actually made a statement about that recently in one of his speeches on the Senate floor, who he's actually going to be bringing in Biden for questioning. So this should be interesting to see. But yeah, I mean, like I said, man, it is awful that we're seeing our rights be kind of thrown to the side. The people that are sworn to uphold them and protect them could give a flying fuck about them, really. And we're seeing the denigration of that, desecration of that happen very quickly. So, yeah, another thing that's happening right now with this whole coronavirus thing is you got a lot of people out there that are wanting more testing to be done, more vaccines to be available, I guess readily available, even though it has to go through a trial period. But Donald Trump himself, the president, said he would mandate and support testing of for coronavirus. Now, when he made this statement, it pertained to people living in senior homes. So it was specific to them, but he did say he would mandate testing in nursing homes. Now that's a slippery slope, because if you can mandate testing for nursing homes, you can mandate testing for schools, you can mandate testing for jobs, any type of a job, you can mandate testing for a specific group. Since Black people are being targeted and being told that we're, you know, more susceptible than most. So how do you feel about this?
He is the president. No matter how we feel about the guy, Donald Trump is the president of these United States. With that being said, us knowing the facts, this is our president, whether we like him or not. Knowing that he can mandate and put such policies over us, this isn't. If you follow this system, if you know about this system, if you know the history of this government, then you know this is not news.
Of course, yeah.
What's news is that, you know, usually the president, you know, he puts everything in the state's hands. He says, we're going to put it in the state's hands. Let's let the states deal with it. Let the states decide when to open. Let's let the states decide how they want to do the testing. Let's let the states decide the vaccines and how they want to move with that. You know, Trump taking a leadership level and a leadership role when it comes to mandating national testing. I believe he could talk the talk. He's good when it comes to rhetoric. But when it comes to laying down the law, doing what's right and following through with his word or his promise. I rarely see that from this president. Rarely see that. So I'm not, I'm not too focused on the president's mandating testing for COVID-19, because we know the numbers of the people dying at disproportionate rates when it comes to this COVID-19.
Yeah, of course. But when it comes to testing for it, that's another story, because, of course, it's similar to the flu. You can't test for the flu. So what makes them think that they can test for the coronavirus? And then they're saying in order for tests for this virus in particular, it takes about 4 days for them to get that test back. So if they say, let's say, in order for you to work for your employer, whether it be a state employer or a private employer, in order for you to have a job, So in order for you to have a job, you got to get tested for the coronavirus. This would be mandatory. How do they plan on enforcing that policy? And that's the thing, is if we talking about them upholding their constitutional oath and this being the commander in chief, he should be the prime example of doing exactly that. And respecting my personal property, which is my body, my property, then it should never be violated by anyone. And if it is, then of course, I got the right to protect myself. And I think that's where we're going to start seeing the response happen with the mandatory vaccinations, if that comes around, since that's being discussed as well. But definitely with the mandatory testing right now, that's where it's going to start, Yeah,
I think it's a broad discussion on all levels. When it comes to the mandatory testing, when it comes to testing, period. I think it's such a broad. Lee Merritt, we got some time. Let's schedule something today, brother. I think it's just a higher level of discussion we have to have on all levels, and I'm open to having that discussion when it comes to vaccines and whatnot, because our people, like I said earlier, are being affected at high numbers when it comes to this COVID-19 pandemic here.
Yeah, but the reasoning because of that is they're blaming it on other health issues. If you have high blood pressure, if you have history of anemia or epilepsy or something like that. Shit, if you fat, I mean, it's all sorts of factors that make, I guess, Black people at higher risk. But I look at things like historically with the Tuskegee experiment, stuff like that, where, testing are being done on Black people in specific to see how they respond to these vaccinations. And of course, how the community responds first and foremost, if they're not going to fight back, they're going to be more accepting of it, etc. So that's a main concern for me, because again, anybody that's willing to support mandatory vaccinations, testing, whatever the case may be, is also supportive of that being forced upon me. And that's where the infringement of my natural right comes in to protect my own body. You know what I mean? So you're right about that. And it's a lot going on. It's a whole lot of conversation surrounding around testing, etc.
Testing and vaccines and all that. It's touchy stuff, man. That's touchy shit, man.
Of course, yeah.
That is a touchy.
This is important, man.
Because you're talking about what I'm allowing the government to put inside of my body.
Right.
So if you're talking about vaccines and whatnot, I'm nervous when it's talking about allowing the government to put anything in my body. I don't trust the government putting anything inside of my body. No vaccine, no flu shot, no tetanus shot. I don't know if I'm still feeling the effects from the goddamn tetanus shot I got in the 2nd grade now. Right. I don't know what done fucked me up these people done put in my body. Told me that I have to have it. And if I don't have it, I can't go to school. If I don't have it, I can't go here or do that. The government, they're able to I love you too, cousin. They're able to limit your rights by taking away your access. You see what I'm saying? You can limit my rights by stripping away my access to say, oh, okay, you can't go to this church unless you get vaccinated. You can't come to this club unless you get vaccinated. They know I love God. They know I love Jesus. So I'll do anything to go to church. So I'll even take that vaccine shot just to go to church. You know what I mean? They know we love God this much. So they know that they got to say, you know what? Take the church away from them. And the only way you allow them to go to church is if they take this vaccine shot. If they don't take the vaccine shot, they can't go to church. Right. Watch how many African Americans, Americans, and Christians take that shot tomorrow. I guarantee you.
Oh, yeah.
Because what you do is you combine the vaccines with the spirit of fear. These people are in a spirit of fear. They're afraid of the government.
Right.
Because they know Trump don't give a damn about our people for sure.
Yeah.
You know, I remember when my brother died, they asked the president about it, and the president said it was a local matter.
Right. Exactly.
Stephon is not a local. If he will call the death of an unarmed individual in his grandmother's backyard a local matter, you think he gives a damn about your issues, your fights, your rights, and your causes, no matter what hood, what project, what district of Sacramento you're located, or Fresno, or New York, so on and so forth. This man does not have a heart or towards compassion when it comes to our fights, our rights, and our causes. So how would you trust him in mandating a vaccine to put Lord knows what in your body?
Right.
Now, I'm not the smartest sons of bitch, but I ain't the stupidest motherfucker either. And that'll be the stupidest shit you ever do in your life, to allow someone who doesn't give a damn about you to put something in your body.
Yeah, but you're right. People trust on the wrong people, like they're medical professionals. As much as they know some doctors are out there that only care about the money, they'll be trusting into the doctor to provide them with any sort of remedy to what they feel like they may be suffering from. And it's even been discussed that in these shots, they are putting in biometric identifiers, which is basically a little RFID chip. You can look it up. But yeah, it'll actually be in this vaccine that they're discussing, so they can trace those people that they give the vaccine to, people that have the coronavirus, and those
I want to Wildstar. I want to see them do the mandatory. I want to see them do their little vaccine thing, and I want to see how it works on the first 100 people, 6 months down the road or something. You know what I mean? I want to see what happens after they get tested, if the COVID-19 comes back, or how this plan on working. You know, because as of what I've heard right now is they found no vaccine. There is no vaccine as of right now.
Right.
There is no cure for this thing right now.
Right.
And since there is no cure for this thing right now, since there is no vaccine for right now, I think it is irresponsible to be talking about mandatory testing for something that we do not have.
Exactly.
We're talking about mandatory testing for a vaccine that we do not have.
Right.
Now, once again, like I said, I ain't the smartest motherfucker out there. But I don't put 2 and 2 together and get 11. You hear me?
Straight up, yeah. And that's the thing, man, is you're right. It doesn't really take a genius to figure out what's going on. And you kind of got to read between the lines, unfortunately. And
most people don't even read. Unfortunately, between the lines, most of these ignorant ass people don't even read.
You're right. And I feel like a lot of these celebrities that are telling us to stay home and trust the government and, support these mandates, I think they're the ones not reading it at all. I mean, because you hear a lot of celebrities promoting this agenda when they're the ones that are the best off, the most well off among us. They got their bills.
Celebrities.
They got tons of money. They got their house, their car. They got everything that they need paid for. They're rich. But we the people aren't. And you got people like Matthew McConaughey that came out talking about with this whole mask thing. It's stupid because they're making it, a partisan issue when it shouldn't be Republican or Democrat or whatever the case may be, and he's right about that. But yet at the same time, he's also co-signing us wearing a mask. And here in Fresno, you must wear a mask in order for you to enter any public place. It's an inconvenience on us. And like you said, if we don't have the virus, why should we have to wear a mask at all? Wearing a mask only prevents you from spreading germs to others, not the other way around. Unless you're wearing a particular type of mask. We're not walking around in hazmat suits and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like these celebrities, two cents that they're providing to us are worthless, you know, because then on the flip side, you got Miley Cyrus who's saying that she's rich. She don't, you know, it doesn't affect her. So big ups to Miley Cyrus for at least being honest and saying, you know, hey, she's rich and it really ain't affecting her. So how do you feel about these celebrities out here, these rich people telling us to stay home when there's people that, you know, got mouths to feed, you know, they got families to take care of?
I feel like anybody taking advice from a celebrity should not be listening to me right now. If you're listening, if you get your medical advice, health advice, financial advice from a person who portrays other people through film, and you want to have a meaningful conversation when it comes to liberty and our fights, our rights, and our causes, if you're taking those, if you're taking advice from celebrities, and you really believe that you're getting the right advice from those guys, even though, you know, they can give two shits about what you're going through. If you want to side with them, if you want to side with the oppressor, if you want to side with the enemy, if you want to side with those who are so well off that they don't even understand that us being out of work is taken from us to feed our families. Us not going to work is taken away from us being able to pay our bills. Us not being able to go to work and our kids not able to go to school, they're not able to see their friends.
Right.
If you listen to a celebrity, if you think the celebrity understands what you're going through when it comes to that aspect, you must be outside your damn mind. You must be outside your rabbit ass mind if you think that. I mean, I ain't gonna say you fell out the dumb tree, but you fell out some tree, and it's a smart one, okay? And you know, I'm everybody love everybody, but don't come at me with some advice you got from some goddamn Miley Cyrus.
Right.
If you come at me with advice you got from Miley Cyrus, you're not only going to get, if you come with me, I'm talking about me personally. If you come to me personally with any advice you got from Matthew McConaughey, Miley Cyrus, Billy Ray Cyrus, damn it, Oprah Winfrey, I don't give a damn. Daniel Ray Lewis, God damn it, Denzel Washington, any celebrity, you come at me with any celebrity about goddamn COVID-19 response, I'm gonna tell you to shut the hell up and get the hell out of my face. Because I don't have time for the bullshit. I don't have time for the nonsense. I don't have time for the fuckery. All right? Excuse my French, but I don't have time for it. If you listen to Miley Cyrus about your health and your life decisions, first off, you don't need me. Second off, you need Jesus. You really need Jesus, or whatever kind of higher power it is that you believe in. You need some type of higher power. Because you're listening to Miley Cyrus, the girl who gave you the goddamn wrecking ball, you know, who's really not even famous for her art on the Disney Channel or whatever, who's famous for fucking twerking. If you guys are serious when it comes to taking advice from these Hollywood sellouts, you're just as dumb as they think that we are. You're just as dumb as they think that we are. And I'm getting my grandma Joanna's on here. She's telling me to stop cursing. And you know I get passionate. You know I get passionate when I start cussing.
Hey, tell Grandma it's all for a good cause.
It's all for a good cause. And Grandma Joanne, it's all for a good cause. I'm not cussing with hate. I'm cussing with love.
Exactly.
This is love cussing. You know, this you know,
but yeah, you're absolutely right, man, about these celebrities. And
these celebrities have sold us out. The black community should be up in arms together when it comes to disengaging in this agenda from these celebrities on our fights, rights, and our causes.
Right.
Because they don't represent us in no way, shape, or form.
Exactly.
There's this 1%, these celebrities represents us. So who gives a damn about their 2 cents? You're not out here protesting with me. You're not out here suffering with me when it comes to wage losses. Your children are not affected by them not being in school like my children are being affected. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And so I can't communicate with those guys because even though they are on a higher financial platform than me because of their talent or whatnot, they're not on the same level of living as me when it comes to how I'm able to communicate and coordinate my day-to-day schedule.
Right.
With you and so on and so forth.
Well,
you don't work, you don't eat.
It's that disassociation between the working class.
But it's that simple. If you don't work, you don't eat.
Exactly. And that's the thing. If they don't
a man is only good under 2 things. You hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, they don't really feel the sting of it. You know what I'm saying?
A man is only good for 2 things in America. And that's to protect and provide.
All right.
If a man does not hunt and fish in America, you
ain't gonna eat. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you ain't gonna get nowhere.
You're gonna starve. You are gonna starve.
Straight up. Yeah, that's the thing, is a lot of people, they rely heavily on what these celebrities say. And I'm actually glad that you brought up some of these black celebrities like Idris Elba and shit, talking about, black people need to pay attention.
The black celebrities have failed black people since day one.
Oh yeah, a great majority have them, especially if they squandered away their money on, luxuries and material wealth.
It's hard to make it out of a hood that treated you like shit. That sold you drugs, sold your mother drugs, that slept with your baby mother and whatnot, that prostituted a lot of your homegirls out, that got you involved in the gang activity. It's hard to love that community.
Right.
It's hard to respect that community. It's hard to come back to that community and it shows some type of integrity.
Right.
Because this community affected your mental health. This community affected your way of living.
Yeah.
This community, the black community, traumatizes black people.
It's awful that happens, and it's an example of that happening right now.
To be traumatized by a community, to be traumatized by your own people,
and
then to become successful, and then to have your people say, "Oh, well, come back and give, come back. Where's mine? Where's my cut? Give me some." It's just the fact that it's hard to be broken like a bitch, and expect to be built like a king in a way where you have to go back to your community and build others like a king. Right. Because they don't realize, people don't realize the success when you're at that moment, when you're at that top tier of success, when you're at that top pinnacle of success. They don't see the struggle. They see it then and there. They don't see it the sleepless nights. They don't see all the coffee you didn't drink. You know what I mean? You could have supported Africa, but you didn't drink all that coffee. You know what I mean? And spend about $400 on coffee a month. They don't see the struggle. They don't see the goddamn amount of stress that you put on your everyday life to become who you are. People don't see that hard work or the hard work. They don't see that. They just see that moment that you're at. They see that high moment. And a lot of people, when they see that high moment, it's like, you don't even see where I was at. You don't see me at the bottom. You don't see my growth. You don't see where I started from. So how dare you expect me to come back and help this community, help this hood, help these people, you know, who treated me and my community and my family like shit. It's hard. It's hard to go back. But these Black celebrities, even though it's hard to go back, it must be done. And if it is not done, if our Black people, our Black men and our Black women in power don't go back and help us in America, us Black and brown people in America, then hell will come for them. Not now, it might not be now, but for future generations. They might not feel it, but their kids will feel it.
And that's bubbling, man, right now on the level to where it's coming to the surface.
Yes,
you know?
we have become a people indoctrinated with materialism and individualism on a way that if our ancestors were to see this, they'll be rolling around in their graves.
Right.
They'll be rolling over in their graves. How have we become so selfish as a people? How have we become so individualistic, so materialistic? How have we become so self-centered as a people that we just don't even, you know, show no type of compassion towards our neighbor anymore?
Right. Well,
now, I remember we were talking about the Ahmaud Arbery case. Now they're showing video footage of Ahmaud Arbery inside the house,
right, that
was vandalized, just looking and standing. Like that has anything to do with anything.
Exactly.
I don't give a damn if Ahmaud Arbery was in that house taking a piss. I don't give a damn if Ahmaud Arbery was in that house having sex with a prostitute. I don't care if Ahmaud Arbery was in that house smoking weed. Okay, he deserved to live. That man did not deserve to die. Okay, and they're putting that footage of him inside that man's home on CNN and MSNBC. This national media should be ashamed of themselves,
right,
for spilling this hateful imagery, which has nothing to do with the case at all. Nothing to do.
Well, the media definitely
anything to knock a Black man down, anything to beat a brother down, anything to knock a brother down when he's not even able to be here and defend himself. This Ahmaud Arbery is not even able to be here and defend himself. Yet they're arguing his case like he's already guilty.
Right. Exactly.
Just because he was taking a jog and stopped and looked inside of a house that many people, many of times have looked in over the past months.
Well, a few things about that is when it comes to people looking at property, that isn't against the law. It's not in the state of Georgia. It's not in the state of here in California. My wife and I, we love looking at, you know, new homes being built. But we've actually walked into construction sites. And it's sad that, what's that?
You know, you could die drinking a Sprite being Black.
Oh, hell yeah, I know that. But
I could be putting on my hand sanitizer right now. Police come in here. Good.
Well, that's the thing is the two guys that killed Ahmaud Arbery, they took it upon themselves.
Because they don't, first off, they're horribly trained. Second off, they don't go by evidence when it comes to policing. It's not an evidence policing model. They don't practice community policing. They're not in tune and in touch with our people at all. At all. Law enforcement is failing on multiple levels. You and me both know it.
Oh yeah, well, we definitely know that. I want to talk about the two guys that shot him, because one of them was a former cop they just took it upon themselves to supposedly surveillance the neighborhood and apprehend a potential suspect. And it's up to the property owner, actually, who did not employ those guys.
The property owner, they said the property owner lived 90 miles away.
And didn't even call the cops about that. He didn't call the cops about him being on the property. So you're right. The media is trying to now vilify the black man, because that's what they seem to do to justify their murdering of black people in the streets. Is they vilify the black man to say, oh, look, he committed a crime and he deserved it. This man didn't deserve it. Your brother didn't deserve it. Breonna Taylor didn't deserve it.
Breonna Taylor didn't deserve it.
The one thing about the black community is we like to excuse the government's actions on our own bad behaviors. And we see this happening right now with the current beef, I guess, that's happening between Mike Epps and Aries Spears. Kevin Hart, I don't know if you heard about this, but Kevin Hart, he did an interview where he was talking about the shooting of Sean Reed. It was another brother. It was a military veteran. And
Kevin, hold on, wait, because you just unpacked a lot.
Yeah.
So there's a beef between Mike Epps and Aries Spears.
Yes.
That stemmed from an interview from Kevin Hart.
Yeah. So Kevin Hart did this interview, right, about this kid named Sean Reed who got shot by the cops.
Yeah, I know Sean Reed was shot and killed and assassinated. I know.
Exactly. So now he was assassinated. We feel that. We understand that. During the interview, Kevin Hart was saying black people need to stop doing things to get them killed. And Mike Epps co-signed that. So Aries Spears got on both of their asses and was like, both of y'all wrong for saying that we did this to ourselves. We got to stop the black on black violence in order to have white people stop, committing violence against us, especially cops, So this beef is now happening and it is bubbling between these two, but it's bringing up a very sensitive topic, which is, what you just talked about, the black community not helping each other when it comes to these situations, and then turning on each other when we need that support. So
black people, I'm gonna tell you this right now, Wildstar. Black people, I'm trying to say it a nice way. I don't want black people to get mad at me.
They're gonna quote you later.
Black people have a way of making our people, ourselves, holding ourselves accountable on different levels. Black people have the power of holding black people accountable on a higher level because of the relation that we have with each other. We are our people. Mm-hmm. We're a people who have been brutalized ever since we've came to America. When it comes to that conversation between Mike Epps and Aries Spears and Kevin Hart, when they say they, if they, anybody that says, we gotta start putting ourselves in these situations. Anybody that says some shit like that, first off, was never in this to begin with for us. You people, everybody watching must understand. I want you guys to all understand what I'm finna say to you. In this fight, don't think of a racism fight, because everybody keep thinking a black versus white thing. This fight is not a racism fight. This is a classism thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is a classism fight. This is what class are you in? Kevin Hart, Mike Epps, Aries Spears, they got money.
Right.
Their kids are good.
Mm-hmm.
Their children are good. They can give a damn about me, you, him, or her.
Mm-hmm.
their agenda is set. Their children will have the best schooling. They will have the most adequate security services. They will have a good life. But you, my friend, everybody watching, us normal people, us regular people out here in America, you too will have a good life. You too will have adequate protection. But you are not there. And the only reason you're not there right now is because God knows what and why and who. But as we are right here, and since we're not right there right now, we have to use, if we all come together right here, we can all supersede that. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because what happens is, Wildstars, we're here, but we're not together. We are not together. And these people, they're up here, but they are together.
Mm-hmm.
They are together.
Right.
We're not together.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a lack of love. There's a lack of love for life. And Black people, we go so hard on Black people. Like I've always said this since day one. I've said when my brother died, Black people treated me the worst. Black people treated me like shit. You know, Black people came at Stefan for his tweets, his web history, and all different types of shit. What about these cops' web history? Mm-hmm. What about these police officer tweets? What about the guys who killed Ahmaud Arbery? What about their web history?
Right.
What about their tweets? Everybody want to notice what's wrong with our people, mm-hmm. and everybody want to attack the ones that are not alive. How you're a coward for beating up and talking about a dead man in the first place.
Yeah.
Because they're not able to defend themselves.
You're right.
And Black people, since we've been what's that word?
Conditioned?
Yes.
Shit. We have
to hate one another, to hate each other. It's 2020 and we are still suffering from the Willie Lynch syndrome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We are still suffering from the Willie Lynch syndrome. And if you don't know who Willie Lynch is, look him up.
Look it up. Look it up. I tell people all of that all the time. I mean, there's so much history out there.
Because history repeats itself. And if you guys refuse to learn your history, it's doomed to repeat itself. It has no choice. Because you haven't learned from the past and corrected it.
Right.
Forgive, but don't forget.
Mm-hmm.
You have to remember, because if you do not remember, it will happen again.
Right. Right now, people are forgetting, and then in the history books, they're being told a different type of a story. You know, it's watered down.
The reason they're forgetting is because us Black people and brown people and these underdeveloped, underrepresented average communities, we're fighting so many fights at one time. You got the war on poverty. You got the war against these crooked ass cops killing our unarmed brothers and sisters. You got mass incarceration. You know, you got these courts using us and making examples out of us. You got us being disproportionately assessed when it comes to this healthcare system, who does not represent us when it comes to adequate healthcare. You know, we're fighting a healthcare system. We're fighting the incarceration system. We're fighting the corrupt justice system. We're fighting Black people. We're fighting classism. We're fighting all these different types of things at one time. And we're still asking for reparations. We're still asking for adequate voting rights. We're still asking to be treated fairly. We're still asking for equity and equality.
Mm-hmm.
We're still asking to be included in a marijuana cannabis program that locked up hundreds of thousands of our brothers for years, and now they're making billions of dollars off of it.
Right.
This is crazy.
Yeah, and it needs to stop.
We are still tearing each other down.
Mm-hmm.
We are breaking each other down. Black people have killed more Blacks than the KKK have ever dreamed of. We are killing each other, and they are still killing us.
Yeah. They're doing their handiwork. You know what I'm saying? And especially now with the police, you got people that are willing to report you for not wearing a mask, for not obeying these social distance rules. And we're seeing that now happen in the news where the majority of people that are being targeted for so-called violations of, coronavirus rules are Black people. Just look at what's happening in New York. They said about 80% plus of the citations that have been issued for COVID violations have been to Black people. So it's the new stop and frisk, And I think we see an expansion of Jim Crow laws in so many ways. So if we want to get down to the bottom of it, we definitely need to shift our ideology politically, which is why I'm glad that you're a supporter of libertarianism, and so am I.
I love libertarianism. I love the Libertarian Party. The Libertarian Party fails when it comes to a Black agenda. The Libertarian Party fails when it comes to reaching out and representing and fighting for the rights and fights and causes of Black and brown people, underrepresented, underdeveloped, and at-risk communities. I am a libertarian, but I'm holding the Libertarian Party accountable as well.
Hell yeah.
Because I tell you this, if I can get away with being a Republican, I would. Okay? Because Republicans win. And Republicans win. And Libertarians don't win.
Not right now. Not right now. We can make that happen, though. Shit, if you and I run as libertarians, I'm pretty sure we'd be able to win.
Libertarians need a stronger, more effective Black agenda. Mm-hmm. Until the Libertarian Party has an effective Black agenda, there's no way we could fight for the rights, fights, and causes and represent the rights, fights, and causes for those in the underdeveloped, underrepresented, at-risk communities. The Libertarian Party, the Green Party, the Republican Party, and the Democratic Party need to all get their shit together because they have all failed.
I think the Libertarian Party does have a platform that does support Black people. They just don't know how to. They don't know how to voice it.
Wait, Wildstar, stop it.
The elimination of licensing, and application of policing for profit, that tends to target Black people the most. When it comes to Second Amendment rights, right now the Libertarian Party is the only party that supports Second Amendment rights for all. What?
The Libertarian Party does not have a Black agenda.
Look at the party platform and see if any of that can help you as a Black person. Trust me, it can't.
Well, you look at.
They don't know how to articulate it in a way to where it can help the Black community.
You look at some conservative issues.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those could help you as a Black person. You look at some Democratic issues. Some of them can help you as a Black person.
And that's why it's
what I'm talking about, does the party have a Black agenda? Does the party have an agenda when it comes to ADOS? Does the party have an agenda when it comes to reparations? Mm-hmm. Does the party has an agenda for Black people, underdeveloped, underrepresented, at-risk communities when it comes to equity in this cannabis industrialization that they're going on? Do they have that? No.
All right. Well, what?
They do not have that. If you sit there and say that they do have that, you are lying from the pits of hell.
We got to talk about that another time, man. We held
we can talk about it.
We held people resistance stand too damn long.
Right now because you're wrong. Because
the
Party
people have after 20 minutes of this shit, man. We're gonna have to come back and talk again. You guys out there, I'm gonna have Devontae Clark, my man right here, freedom activist out in Sacramento. I'm gonna have him back next week, Tuesday, May 19th. So please be sure to tune in then. All right. I appreciate you for coming in.
Yes, thank you, brother.
Up with me now. It was last minute. So like I said, I will have a proper interview prepared for you next time, brother.
Thank you so much. And, I love you, brother. I just got to be straight up. The Libertarian Party does not have an agenda for us in underrepresented, at-risk, undeveloped communities. The Republicans don't. The Democrats don't. The Green Party don't. Nobody fights for our rights and our causes like me.
You're right about that shit, and they definitely don't fight for them like me. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, look, I know you're a libertarian. I'm a libertarian. You plan on being a Republican, That's on you, but
that's just another label,
all I'm saying is we have to be upfront with our agenda to our people, and we have to be upfront with holding everybody accountable on all levels. Right. Accountability on all levels even from my party, I'm a libertarian. I got a call from the president of the Libertarian Party about being a national delegate, and I am a national delegate, and I'm ready to give up my delegation seat because I don't feel like a black agenda has been presented to the Libertarian Party, and I don't think a black agenda has been taken serious. Or will be taken serious if it is brought up to the Libertarian Party.
And that's why I said again, it's up to the Libertarian Party to let more black candidates step up to the plate, like John Mons. He's been completely ignored. You know what I'm saying? He's a black man, and he definitely can articulate the message of libertarianism to where people.
But Brother Mons
help them.
Yeah, but Brother Mons is he's just not in touch.
Yeah, well, he's a different type of brother. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, is we shouldn't be looking for a certain black representative to sound a certain way. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? If he's clean cut and is one of those people that has the principles that we all care and love about, which is liberty and freedom at heart, then I say get a man to go. You know what I mean? But him knowing how the application of rule of law, for instance, just with black men having their Second Amendment right respected. If we were recognized as not being a threat, walking around the neighborhood with guns, we wouldn't have situations where people get shot because of that. You know what I'm saying?
But that's a reach. That's a reach, Wildstar.
Well, this is starting. Like I said, man, we definitely got to talk about it more next week, Tuesday, when we talk more. But in the meantime, you guys, definitely check out my man, Devontae Clark, on Instagram, Twitter. Tell them where they can find you, brother.
Y'all can find me on Instagram at official_Devontae Clark. Remember that you can find me on YouTube under Devontae Clark. You can find me on Facebook under Devontae Clark. Instagram, again, that's official_Devontae Clark. If you want to get involved and connected with the movement, you could reach out to iamsacfoundation@gmail.com. And I want you to remember this, everybody watching. I personally rather you vote a crooked Republican than a decent Democrat. That's just me. And remember, even the Libertarian Party has failed when it comes to providing effective black agenda for our people. All these political parties have failed. Capital F, failed. All right, thank you, Wildstar. I love you, brother. Peace and love.
Hey, I love you, brother. I'll talk to you next time. And all my people out there, I just want to make a quick few announcements. Before I get out of here, please be sure to check out the Taxation is Step Fest this weekend, May 16th and 17th. All right, that's this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. It's free. If y'all don't have your tickets by now, I mean, you're missing out, because the Tit Fest being hosted by Daniel Berman, Libertarian candidate that's running for president. He is holding the first ever Taxation is Step Fest, which will be a 2-day online conference online. So be sure to head on over to taxationisstepfest.com. They go to banner right there, okay? And please be sure to get your tickets now. Like I said, it is free. I will be there on Saturday at noon. Saturday noon Pacific time. Please be sure to be there, because I'm going to be performing a very special set of songs along with a Q&A with you people out there. So be sure to head on over to taxationisstepfest.com and get your tickets now. Also, if you're out there on YouTube and you want to give me a super chat, don't, okay? Much love to all of y'all people that gave me super chats up until now. I appreciate all of the donations, you know what I'm saying? But I just found out super chats take about 30 days to process and shit. And then, it just takes too long to get that money. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to get that right now. So please head on over to my website, GovernorWildstar.com. Be sure to hit the donate page. Donate $5, $50, $500. Hey, if you got it, I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? And this is to fund the revolution. We got to be able to move around. We got to be able to move throughout the state, be able to make quality videos, be able to put it out there to the public, be able to promote it. You know, these are all costs. And unfortunately, right now, funds are low. You know, I'm also working on a on a reality series, which I'm fundraising for, and I need to hire a producer and an editor to take care of the footage. You know what I'm saying? So I would like to get that cranked out. Please, please, please be sure to support any way that you can. Even if you got the skills to help out, I will take your skill set. You know what I'm saying? To help get this thing going. Thank you, Ryan Wilson, who says, keep up the fight. I appreciate you for watching, and everyone else. Crackhead Joe, Young Elder, TJ, Roberto Morales, who was talking about my sign being upside down. I hope you know now that that is a symbol for a nation in distress. And that's exactly what we are right now, a nation in distress. And it's also a symbol of a violation of personal property. Your person, you are property. Your people, your property. And like me and Stevante was talking about during this show, they are pushing mandatory testing, mandatory vaccination. They're going to force this upon you, your person, and you, my people, need to be able to defend yourselves. And we need to stand for freedom and liberty together. That's how we're going to be able to do it, is by unifying under the liberty, the cause of liberty. And that's what this is all about. So please be sure to, again, jump in this revolution. Check out my man, Stevante Clark. Visit my website, governorwildstar.com. Go over to taxationandsteffest.com. Be sure to get your tickets now. And yeah, let's get this revolution into high gear. Share this message. Let's spread the message, you know, and expand our audience. You know, keep everybody in the know. Quit relying on celebrities. Quit relying on the fake news. Quit relying on those people that would like to mislead you into a place where they are controlling you. We want to be free, don't we? We want to live free. Good. So please also be sure to subscribe to my Governor Wildstar page on Facebook and YouTube, since this will be the last broadcast that you see anywhere else other than there. So go to YouTube, Governor Wildstar, Facebook.com, Governor Wildstar, subscribe, and let's connect. And yeah, like I said, please be sure to check into the next episode next week, Tuesday, where I will be talking to my guest that I was speaking with here, Stevante Clark. We'll have a proper interview with my man, and hopefully we'll be able to schedule Libertarian presidential candidate Serene Ardelanu back on the show sometime in the near future. We wanted to keep this Ladies Week rolling, but there's not too many ladies out there that are involved in this liberty movement. So if you are out there involved in the liberty movement, you know, and you're of the feminine kind, then please hit up your boy. I would love to have you on the show so we can talk about, you know, expanding the cause of liberty. So to all of you out there that are watching, I appreciate you again for tuning in. And please jump into the next Black Side of Liberty with yours truly, Governor Wildstar. Till next time, all my beings of light, art, culture, and knowledge, may the light of God and liberty shine on each and every one of you. Much love to you all. Peace.